6, I think.
He played 9.
9? What the fuck?
Sousa Soldier as well.
3 Sousa soldiers.
I
Alright,
didn't.
we should be back
Yeah,
up now.
I thought that was Serenity and not
Me
Shane.
Serenity is Shane.
that is Shane.
Well, mind blown.
Yeah, me and World Got Mad like called that immediately, that first tournament that they entered.
Well, I've got to give him a
Re-
follow.
You should read the interview with Serenity. It kind of gives it away.
That was the confirmation. Although
Yeah.
Spooky
We know.
Spooky asked Serenity what to call that like Mataz of the Zapper deck, and he's like, I can't answer that question because I'm not Serenity. And then he's like, a half hour later, he's like, I talked to Serenity, and we don't know what we want to call the deck.
All right.
That's amazing.
So he's going down swinging. Oh, that's cute.
Shane must have spent at least like 5 to 10 hours of their life making alternate accounts.
I have never made an alternate account. What's the point? Unless he gets banned all the time, which he does, doesn't he? So
Yeah. Not in a long time. Unless Jazz had to ban him recently, I don't think so.
You used to get banned on your server.
He got banned on your server a few times too.
Maybe.
You went to war with Shade at one point. What are you talking about? When you back in probably like 2 years ago?
I never really like hated him or anything.
No, not hated, but you had to keep like reprimanding.
check.
There was a period when people were just like everyone was giving each other shit and it just got out of control, and I was just like, I'm not
Yeah.
dealing with this.
For
You're all
sure.
banned.
We were talking about it, me, Spooky, and Ross a few days ago. And you've mentioned it before too. It was like the filter of like DGZ days of people being just totally ignorant, then filter down to format library where like you had to like get people in check, and then now on GOAT format, I haven't had too many issues because people
are good on format library now too.
Yeah,
Everyone's kind of mellowed out.
it's good. The best thing you ever
it's
did
very
was make politics not be a regular channel. Was a first good step towards that direction.
Yeah.
Because no one will ever agree on them.
I mean, it was kind of hard to like keep people from talking about it, so I think the hidden channel was good. And you like have to opt into it.
You could just make it a rule, no politics.
That's what
But
we
that
do.
didn't really work.
That's what we do on GOAT format. But
Work for me.
no, because you didn't start out. I started out with the rule right off the bat. Like you were like
Right.
trying to like reinforce it after the fact, and
That's actually correct. Yeah.
getting people to stop doing something they're already doing compared to never doing something is always different.
Totally correct. Yeah.
I remember when Format Library first started up as well. Before that, weren't you in league with someone who everyone had a problem with for being racist or something?
Yes.
What was that?
People think he's a Nazi. I think he is actually. But
Yeah. Who was
Eunice.
Eunice.
I never had an issue with Eunice,
Oh yeah, I remember you. That's it, Eunice.
but I know like everyone else did. So
Well, it was like
What was your old one called?
it's still format library, right?
Oh, was it?
well, so there was a point when Eunice started his own GOAT server. He was like one of the first people to start a GOAT server.
Oh yeah, you guys merged, right?
Yeah. Starting my own server,
he
I'm
needs
just
to
going to
put the-
merge.
Counter onto Skill Dark.
That was just my fault in the beginning. I should have just like done the hard thing and started my own server instead of.
Very true. Well, to be fair, actually, you probably did well to merge with him because you kind of captured that audience. I certainly got captured because you were merged with that guy, so maybe it was the right thing to do.
You know, guys,
I don't know.
I had to remind him last week to put the counter on skill dark, and he ended up being able to use it to get not lose to burn because he tributed off the skill dark, and he still didn't put the
Amazing.
counter on this game. It's not optional.
I forget to do that though as well.
I got this one weird deck. I have no idea what it is.
That someone entered with?
Yeah.
Can you send it to me?
You know. Yeah, I'll DM it to you guys.
Me and Rost have been declaring what decks are for the last 4 days straight, so we're experts now.
No, you're not going to be able to figure this out. There's no chance.
I don't even know what that card is.
That's the one where you like tribute 2 monsters to deal
I think
1400.
it's Lady Assailant of Flames.
You like tribute 2 monsters to do burn damage. It's like a weird I think it's a flip effect too.
I'm looking it up right now.
Lady Assailant of Flames. You were totally right.
Pyro Flip.
Oh man, what?
Yeah, so you can return it if they knock it.
Move 3 cards from the top of your deck from play. Inflict 800. Oh, that's so interesting.
It's straight nonsense.
Is this
So
Iraq's
Bazoo
deck?
return. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's just Bazoo
I
return.
would call this Bazoo return. Yeah, but I was really thrown off by the Lady Assailant of Flames.
That was
I thought it had like a
People-
different win con, but
people
it just
used
helps.
that way back in the day. I've seen this deck before, like 2005-ish.
Seen a lot of decks. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, no, I've never seen that card. I've never had it played against me.
Maybe I saw it on like ETC forums. That's where Iraq is from, and that's where I used to hang out. So
yeah.
that could make sense.
Geist is certainly hanging on at the moment. I mean, sorry, the Nano rather.
They're pretty close in cards, but he played Pot and Graceful too.
Yeah, Graceful happened somewhere along the lines. He had Thunder Dragons in his hand for ages.
I do love the whole Jar Greed with Blade Knight idea.
Yeah, it's quite smart.
Three counters.
What's the okay? What's the application of? Can your opponent benefit from the third counter being on there?
Yeah, say I snatch your skill dark, I can tribute it to fail to find Dark Magician.
That's good. Yeah.
Or you could just tribute it.
Yep, which guys did to beat the burn deck last week, and he's still not putting the counters on it.
Yeah, I still think he was.
Man, crashing killed us. We were at like 25 viewers, now we're down to 8.
Slowly rejoin. People probably like had it in their
Solemn the
like browser and
Exiled.
weren't necessarily watching.
Can guys drop BLS here? Oh, whoever gets first at this tournament also qualifies for the goatformat.com Worlds.
Really?
Yeah. Remember I asked you about that like a month ago probably now?
I do remember, but I forgot until you just mentioned it. Should have told people that. Oh well.
I didn't even remember to write it. I said it yesterday on when I was doing something, but
It's on your server.
yeah. If those Italian like real life tournaments were still going on, I was gonna use them as qualifiers too. They get so many people.
Shit, they can't play, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
They were getting like
we can't play either, but they haven't been able to play for.
They were getting
little
50,
longer.
50 to 70 people at their goat tournaments.
Jesus.
Those stores make it through.
I know.
Guys, so many people entered. I just finished all the deck lists. All right, let's see what we got.
You're not posting them up anywhere, are you?
No, I'm just gonna read off some of the numbers. 9 goat control.
How many are still in?
Everything else is a variety. There's like 3 Chaos Turbo, 2 Thunder Dragon Chaos Control.
Surprisingly, that
Warrior.
deck has been lowering and lowering.
Thunder Dragon. Which one?
The Thunder Dragon Chaos Control.
I remember like a couple months ago, it was like almost half the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's less of it or if it's more like weirder versions that we're not just considering to be the same deck.
No, I think there's. I mean, in this tournament, it's pretty obvious there's less of it.
Yeah, I mean,
To me, it's obvious.
I didn't super look close. Someone else did the numbers for me for the last one. He was like, yeah, there's like 2 of them for last time.
I believe it because that's consistent with what I've got here.
Mm-hmm. But sorry to interrupt you. You said how many goat control?
9 out of 35.
Okay, and
So what is that, like a third?
I had 11 out of 54, so that's pretty close.
So, yeah.
What do you got for warriors? I bet you have more warriors than I did.
2 warriors and 2 tiger stun.
Really? So we just happened to jump into some warrior decks consistently then. But we watched Silver a few times, is probably why. I had 11
Geist, right?
Yeah, I had 11 anti-meta warriors last tournament.
It's a lot.
We also had 4 Dimension Fusion turbos and 3 reasoning gates. 1 chaos control and then 7 Thunder Dragon Chaos. So that's like 15 chaos decks we had. Plus 2 Angel Chaos, so that's 17. And a Recruiter, 18.
Shit, I missed a deck. That's annoying. 34, and there's 35 people. We've seen them like playing each other. Not really that many. I mean,
Yeah.
that is kind of
It's like confirmation bias. Or whatever the word for that would be.
very wide variety. There are a few people who are definitely playing fun decks. We got like Wind, Strike Ninja, Zombie Burn.
How many burn total? Like 3 or 4?
There's 3 that I would call Dark Burn, which are like
Like what?
not skill drain,
Like what Serenity
but
was
using
playing?
like some of the dark monsters. Yes, Serenity was playing it, and then 2 other people were playing it. Anything that could be considered burn. I don't see another except for the zombie.
So like 4 burn decks. We had like 2
4
last time with more players.
And then
so
and a Pac-Man deck that has like some lava golems and stealth birds, I think.
I would count that then. It's probably just a bad burn deck.
Right.
Is that McDog's deck?
Then we've got like one of everything. We have a rescue cat, a library FTK, an empty jar, an economics FTK. It's the one with like DMOC and Mass Driver.
Yeah. You
I don't
only
really know
got,
what to call that. I think economics makes sense, but that might not really.
We just like we said, we've decided.
yeah, what did we name it?
Yeah, we came up with a name, but we forgot.
We got to ask Spooky.
Yeah, I'll look on his document.
Oh, you have the doc? Okay. Yeah, I was meaning to get back to you for that, Jazz, for the deck list things. We went through like 120 decks
Jesus Christ.
to like give them reasonable names to try to like have some consistency going forward. I'll send you the
Okay.
doc to see if you like hard disagree on any of them, but
Okay, no, that's cool. Yeah, it's a good discussion. It's a good discussion. It's kind of fun.
it was fun. It was a lot of work too.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah, like Spooky.
Yeah. Also, there's we also categorize them into aggro, chaos, and control. You'll probably disagree some of them.
We did aggro, chaos, control, and then we did other, which was mostly burn.
It's got to be. I mean, there's no such thing as other. Just make it burn. You could fit everything into one of those 4.
No.
I'm
What
pretty
about
confident.
Library FTK?
Well, we'll show you the list.
Combo.
There's some weird decks we spent so much time trying to figure.
Combo.
There were some we just spent so much time talking about that we were like, let's just put it there and move on to get through this list. So maybe you'll be able to convince us one way or another on them. When
The rescue cat deck is losing. So sad.
when you realize you spent 20 minutes discussing what a cat's ear tribe deck actually is, you kind of just move on.
It's garbage, and you don't even count it. I
That's,
just call it other.
there you go. I think that's where it ended up.
We definitely didn't call it economics because it doesn't turn up on Control F.
I think we called it Mass Driver OTK.
Yes, we did. Mass Driver FTK, we called it, in fact.
It probably makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's that or economics. Like, I think you got to try to name it after the engine and not like necessarily the win con, but like
That's so funny.
Mass Driver is sort of the engine.
Mass Driver's like the engine and the win con, so
Right.
Wasn't it Spooky who said the exact opposite? He said it's like the win conditions, the name of the deck.
well that would be why he said Mass Driver would be in the name.
That's not correct because we don't call it like Empty Jar. It's not named after Card Destruction Serial Spell.
Well,
And
it doesn't always use that either, though. Speaking of card destruction, he just sniped it out of his hand.
The engine's definitely the jar cards.
Yeah, but the chart could also be the win condition.
It's more likely it's going to be. It's not really though.
The end, it's the same as Mass Driver. It's the win condition and the.
Can you give Geist a warning for not putting the counter on Skill Dark Magician? Because it's getting under my skin. That's 2 counters on it now. Well, now it doesn't matter because he freaking Ring of Destruction did, but it was supposed to have 2 counters on it.
DM'd him. So I think it's very hard to put counters on cards if you play on mobile.
Is he on mobile? I don't think he is.
I don't know. But if you are on mobile or like a tablet, I think there is like actually no way you can put counters on cards. Like it's just not doable. Because you can't right click.
Yeah, but we have seen him put counters on cards though, so.
No, you don't right click. You hover over a card, I think. I think that's the only way you can do it. No, there's a counter button and the buttons don't work. That's right. It's like there's a dice button and there's a counter button.
Well,
Yeah,
Geist
right.
is somehow not even on Discord, so he might be on mobile. He always answers and everything so fast, though. I really don't think he's on mobile.
He's not
he might-
because he's already put on the counter previously, hasn't he? So
Yeah, it's probably
if it's
true.
possible, then he's already must be on PC.
I mean, I've had to remind him like 4 times now, so he needs to just start putting the counter on it. Because it's honestly not fair if you snatch steal it later in the game and there's not 3 counters on it.
True.
Right, it's like soft. It's almost soft cheating at that point.
Like, it sounds silly at first to be like, oh, put the counter on the skill dark, but it should be on there. So the other thing I don't like about Swiss is, as a player, not knowing if I go win all the rest of these matches for the next 5 hours, if I'm
It's
gonna...
worth it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's
That's a good point.
Skilled. Let's see if he puts the counter on it. Oh, and he's got a spell.
I mean, you could give him a second warning, but the third one, I would say, would have to be a game loss if he's just deliberately not even giving an explanation for why he's not doing it.
Did someone play a spell yet or no?
No, he just summoned and attacked a Magician of Faith, though. End phase Wing Blast. I feel like you're gonna win once that seems like a really strong play.
Hmm.
He's able to clear these monsters right here.
Yeah, I don't know if he will though.
He discarded a tribe, so
Oh yeah. So he did.
Pigeon Swords. Swords is such a weird card to side in. When do you want to side in Swords against like a warrior deck that you're not maining it? Alright, you can give Geist a second warning for not putting the counter on Skill Dark.
Oh.
Is he listening to the stream?
DM'd him, so he probably just read the DM.
Okay. And look, as Snatch Steal is played, like a card that matters with
Extremely
it.
relevant, yeah.
So Nano must have had Snatch when he end phased Wing Blast because he knew he had the answer for both the monsters. Don't you wish there was a better card than DD Warrior Lady to play in Goat Control?
In Goat Control?
Yeah.
Exiled, maybe.
No, Exile's not a light. You need the light.
Yeah, but you would banish it. So.
DD's better anyway. DD's definitely better.
Yeah, Banishing BLS is way better than
Banishing Sangan, BLS, Serpent.
mhm.
Even banishing Abyss Soldier is pretty good.
That's true too. Like, I don't think DD Warrior Lady is trash, but it's like a lot of times I'm just like, I wish this was just a slightly better card.
It's like it's a low variance card. Like
When situations like
it's
just
never
happen to
very good.
yeah, like what just happened to Geist sucks so much. You leave out Warrior Lady and a monster, and it's like now I'm automatic -1 if they have Snatch.
Yeah. Well, that's more like just overcommitting in general. You're gonna lose monsters like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like Nano's been in control for quite a while now.
Like this Warrior Lady just got stalled out by a defense mode Donzalug.
Exiled would never have done that.
Exile would have done nothing still too though. Jar Greed and a Pot of Greed. You gonna solemn it? Nope. If he had, you think you would solemn if you had it there, right? Your opponent has 1 card and a defense Donzalug, and you've got 5 cards. Do you solemn the Pot of Greed?
You do. Are these cards gonna get him back into it?
He hasn't played heavy yet, and he let the Pot and the Graceful go. He might have solemn, but he could easily not.
I personally wouldn't have solemned the Pot of Greed there.
I definitely would have solemned that Pot of Greed. Your opponent doesn't have a Light and Dark engrave, only has 1 card in hand that was already dead, and a Donzalug in defense.
I'd use Solemn now if I had it. Yeah.
He never would have got the heavy though.
So now the Geisty has 2 cards that are presumably live, and before, if you had solemned the pot, none of his cards would be live.
Right, and then you could even have 2 monsters on the board. By the time he draws the heavy, he has no monsters, and it doesn't even matter.
In this scenario, like if he'd have drawn heavy the turn later, which he would have done, then he would have been even more plus.
No, because he would have been down on monster count. If the Nano has any monster, Geist would be down.
He just had to waste a Book of Moon on a Dawn because he didn't solemn the pot.
Yeah.
His DD Warrior Lady to that exiled because he didn't solemn pot.
You can absolutely solemn pot when your opponent only has 1 card in hand and a dead monster on the board.
It's definitely correct because when you're playing solemns, you want to trade 1 for 1. And so if you're allowing your opponent to +1 for free with a pot, that's just why you're playing solemn at all, you know?
And the book was chainable, so even if he got the heavy after solemning the pot, that's 1 card that was chainable for it, and it would have been an answer for the Donzalug.
Okay, well.
And both his cards were chainable.
Oh. No.
Guys got him.
Yeah, guys. I mean, Nano's saying LOL in chat, but he misplayed. He
Yeah.
punted what I consider. I consider that a punt because I think that's not the correct play.
Well, it definitely didn't work out for him. Oh, he lucked out on game one. He did.
Nah, he went card destruction, pot of greed, graceful charity twice with Night Assailant, and with just like without a doubt.
Dying it, to be fair. Well, there we go. Looks like Geist would have won it anyway.
Is this the finals? This is the finals from last week. Someone asked. You know, this is only what, round 4 of 6?
WGM still playing.
Probably.
Randage and Loop, I think, are also still playing.
Watch Randage. I don't see them. Did they just finish? They must have.
Boy, that's very common.
So, Neighborhood versus Walk It Out.
11 minutes in the round.
And this is only game 1.
Seriously?
No, I'm just kidding.
I doubt WGM can even top even if he wins the rest of the rounds.
I have to look more carefully at the standings to figure out how many.
Maybe he could squeak in, but I don't think it's likely. He's 1 and 2 going into this round. Usually, did he win round 1? Usually you gotta win like the first 3 rounds, or you might as well have gone 0-2 drop.
You know, this actually could be the first round still.
The worst that ever happened to me for missing for going X and 2, I went 11 and 2 and did not make top 32 of a tournament
Oh, wow.
Awful.
because I lost round 1.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Oh, man. That is a shame.
And I lost round 1 literally to the die roll too. It was like a rabbit mirror match, and he won the die roll and opened up with a card D, and it was just 1 card ahead of me the entire game of us both having like the most broken hand possible. But my second loss was my fault, so
Oh, man. Who's going to win this?
my opponent called the Haunted a Thunder King Raya with the end phase, and I could have Torrentled it, and I didn't, and it cost me the game.
When was this? Like 2011?
Yeah, I think that's when maybe 2012. I think Rabbit Form was like between those 2 years.
Yeah.
Book of Moon be good here.
Uh-oh.
This is the last game in the round.
Is Mirror Force dead? It is. So if he goats then metas, he could still be in this game. But meta's all in the grave, so I think it's over. Call BLS?
Could have a third scapegoat.
Call BLS would be huge.
He would have done it first. Though. Yeah, there we go. Third scapegoat.
No, if you do it if you attack with Chaos Sorcerer and they call BLS, can you banish with Chaos Sorcerer? No, right?
What do you mean? Sorry.
If you attack with Chaos Sorcerer, they call BLS, so
Oh.
you take back your attack. You can't banish with Chaos Sorcerer, right?
Is correct. You cannot banish.
He's
all.
He's saving that token for something because he took 16.
You guys think he has Book of Moon set?
I don't even know. I can't read WGM today.
He's just
He's only got
Crazy.
one card in deck, and I'm pretty sure he would play 3 books in
It's
this.
like this is the second time we saw him with only 1 card left. Like Chaos cannot just deal the final blow sometimes. So if he can deal with this tribe, WGM loses.
I don't think it made any sense not to attack
All of them, yeah, I agree.
all the goats, or at least 3 of them. You're not going to goat lock your opponent here.
I don't understand why he took the 16 either.
For playing goat.
Because maybe he plays enemy controller or something.
Or yeah, creature swap. Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, if this tribe dies, WGM loses, unless because we know he doesn't play Column Prime. He's playing Upstart Goblin too. So if he didn't upstart him, he would have won.
Right, because he's at 100. Well, he would have played goat on the attack.
That's
The
so.
one that was 1600.
Yeah, I feel like Borgo Man usually shits on Upstart so hard.
Oh man,
Torrental.
he knows his last card though.
The Sinister is enough for game, yeah.
Could have lost. Yeah. Holy shit. That was wild. 5 minutes for the round.
I wonder what his last card was.
Who'd Reclaire lose to this last round? Delinquent got him. Delinquent's really good too.
Yeah, I've lost to him many a time.
Delinquent's won, or I don't know. Has Delinquent ever won at FLC?
No.
No, he's done good, and like he always does consistently good though.
Didn't start like playing in our communities until a year ago or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we beat Rickler.
And who the hell am I missing?
You got everybody else.
Oh,
Did you-
I'm
did
sorry.
you for deck
I'm
list?
looking at my deck list spreadsheet. I have 34, and there's 35 players.
This is glitched on me.
I'm glitched too. I gotta come out and come back.
You got Tribe banished or Tribe in the extra deck?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Ooh, I think I have to refresh. My dueling book is reloading.
It's going nuts on everybody right now, I think.
Holy shit, I'm in like a random game with formages and dinos.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'm back in it. So World got mad, pot of greeted, and walk
To
it out.
refresh.
Walk it out, flip to Kochi, and it's pot of greeted him back.
I'm glad that they didn't disconnect.
That is the worst when your opponent sets to Kochi and you have to set back on it, and then they just flip it over.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as your opponent playing a Trinity piece when that resolves like that. Nobleman and Sang into. Well, it's good he didn't waste summon and attack it into the. I guess if he summoned and attacked into the Dakochi, it would be the same spot but searching for the Sangan though. Yeah, we're back up to almost 30 viewers. It's a shame. The only number that really matters at a certain point is getting to 75. And like if we can't get to 75 during coronavirus, we're literally just never gonna get to it.
If they never. What happens when you hit 75?
And you get ad revenue for the ads that they already are playing anyway.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Well, I reckon Go format's only on an upwards trend and always will be. As long as Yu-Gi-Oh! Still is a thing.
Yeah, I think this last year has been more people than the previous 2 years at least.
I think it's been slowly growing.
Yeah, definitely no big jumps.
Well, after having a break for a couple of years, like I'm coming back, I've noticed a sharp increase. Well, no, not sharp, but for me it's sharp. Um, there's a lot more people now than ever was before, and a lot more good players too.
I think that's definitely true.
More good players.
Both. More good players and more people. Those kind of go together, though.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know. You really think there's more people? I don't like. There's. I don't think there's been more people until coronavirus. Honestly, it's been like 25 people has been kind of the standard for.
There are definitely more people.
Well, maybe like maybe the Discord servers aren't an indication, but on the Dueling Book playrooms, then yeah.
You think that's increased more?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because even though I haven't engaged with the community, I've always, played on Dueling Books servers. It's never a struggle to find a game anymore, no matter what time of day. And of course, for me, it was a struggle because I'm UK and most players are American or Italian.
I guess always being able to find a game is really cool for how niche GOAT format really is.
It's a huge deal, yeah.
Like, say you were playing some 15-year-old video game, trying to play it online, you're not going to be able to always find an opponent.
No, absolutely not. I mean, yeah, it's a really unique position.
There's actually one more burn deck, so there's 5 burn decks. It was the one I was missing. One I was missing is like an aggro burn deck with like pandas.
Mm-hmm. That's not too surprising that it went up to 5 after getting 4th place last week.
Is that Furfo's deck?
It is Furfo's deck, yeah.
Yeah, I lost to that.
Oh, you did lose to Burn?
I think he's X1. Yeah, he's 3-1.
I'll tell you.
There's actually a lot of X1s right now. There are 2 4-0s.
I generally do not mind playing against Burn when I'm running Go Control.
Ugh, I can't stand it.
If you're playing Abyss Soldier, you just like win.
No.
Abyss Soldier just like really craps on Burn.
You gotta have this Sinister as well, though. That's the key.
Yeah. That's true, but it's not the hardest card to get to.
This is time, actually. I gotta PM these dudes.
I feel like Walk It Out might have this one.
It's a pretty good lock to go into time with.
Yeah.
Sakaretsu Armor is another card that, like, I wish I could play something better than.
See, this is the thing. Like, if Walk It Out didn't ask, then Wild Gone Mad definitely would have been like, "You're going too slow."
I'm gonna
WGM says, "Great, LOL." And I told him it was time.
he's gonna double Thousand Eyes him.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything, does he?
$1,000 is a nice lock.
Yeah.
And like
Takes 2 turns to get it off with a Suki if you have the Suki.
Doesn't play piercers. I don't think he has any way to win.
So we got one off the board. He's gonna have to just hope he draws heavy next turn and make some crazy tribe infecting play.
Nope.
Well, at least I was gonna say at least he triggered that ring on his own terms.
Someone donating $20 for prize pool. Should I
Oh.
give 15 and 2, or should I just give all of it to the winner?
I'd give it all to the winner myself, but
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. Sorry, 15 and 5, but yeah, all to the winner.
sweet. Who donated?
Did
Who did?
to promote his tournament in return, but
I didn't
totally
hear.
willing to do that.
I didn't
I have
hear
to
who. I didn't hear who you said. Who donated?
bandage.
Oh, Randage did. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, is he to promote the GoFormat.com tournament?
Is that what he wants me to promote?
Probably the Sleeper Meta tournament.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's the sleeper meta guy, huh? How's that sleeper meta stuff going?
So we did one so far, and we had like 24 entrants. And the first one was it's still regular Go format rules. The first one was you could only use 5 non-machine monsters in your deck. And then this upcoming one for April is you could only use 5 non-earth monsters in your deck. It's been fun though. Like people have been getting into the deck building, and then like it's not as big of a commitment as like learning a whole new format.
Isn't this next one though going to be quite like beast downy?
I don't know. I looked at the decks to make, and like that was kind of where the conclusion I came to, but we'll see.
Or Pac-Man even.
It's a lot harder for this one to even find like when you're limited to 5 non earths. Like I couldn't even like there's for machines it was an easy package of like, well, the machines are light and darks already, so I can just put some chaos monsters in and we get to 5 or a few goat control cards and BLS. But now the 5 is like a much harder decision, I think.
Really? I think like I think the deck building the decks is a lot easier with this restriction than it was with machines. A lot easier, in fact.
I think picking the earths is easier, and I think picking the 5 non-earths is a lot harder now.
Well, Breaker, I guess, would always be one. Let's have a look. Serpent, Sangan. It's probably the 3 that I would think.
Sangan's not even really. Sangan and Serpent are kind of not that good if you can't fit metas.
Yeah, I guess. Breaker.
Breaker's like the only easy one, I think.
Yeah, potentially you're right.
So yeah, if you guys are interested in the sleeper meta tournament, and we're probably gonna do, honestly, I think now that I had to cancel my travel plans, I'm probably gonna do GFC 5 next Sunday. Probably announce stuff tomorrow. Put all the dates on the website on goatformat.com. So should we watch Geist again and keep winners? We haven't watched Delinquent yet, right? He's still on.
They're both 4-0, so we
Okay.
could watch them. Then
Or
we can watch like a bubble match in
We could watch Randage since he's 3-1 and just donated.
Let's give Sleeper Meta a shout out.
For the Sleeper Meta tournaments, like we haven't so we're trying to do a second one of the similar rules of the first one to see if like that formula is what just works well, because the first one everybody really liked. It was fun to watch, it was fun to play, it was fun to like test to build decks for, and everybody got into it in the Discord. So we're gonna see if like just modifying that same rules are gonna work good. But if it doesn't, then we're gonna do like different rules if this one doesn't like end up as good. So
What do you mean by that exactly?
So we like it could be anything if it's just like a modify to get people to play different goat format decks that you wouldn't normally play, like from a range of like we talked about doing you can only use decks that like topped in 2005 even, or to like just like different kinds of restrictions for the deck building, but we're trying to keep it as simple as possible.
I think the main issue with these restrictions as well is that the spell and trap card pool don't get affected, and they're actually probably the most consistent thing in all decks in Go format.
I don't think so. Like the only thing that's consistent for the spell and traps is Trinity, and that even Delinquent is not in every deck. Heavy you don't play in every deck.
Yeah, not in every deck, but look, come on.
I'd say like 75% probably.
Yeah, but like, so the decks that don't play heavy, the monsters in that are going to be way off the beaten track, aren't they?
I guess so, yeah.
So,
But like I don't play heavy in like that even in like the heavy slump deck I don't play heavy. I just play 2 True Nades instead.
it's rounded.
Their game's not up yet, right?
I don't know.
Dueling Book's starting to get buggy.
It's not liking the amount of. Yeah, roundage is in the game.
Yeah, when they get over 2,000 players, it starts to get crazy.
Is that what we have?
On Dueling Book right now, they're at almost at 2,600.
Holy shit! I remember when they first launched, they were never getting above 1,000.
No, yeah. It took a while for people to be like, oh, there's a new Dueling Book. Or a new, what was the old one called?
Dueling Network.
Dueling Network, yeah. Dueling Network had a little more charm to it for some reason, didn't it?
Well, it didn't have a goat brew.
That's true. I don't saying it's better, but like when I look at like I see some old videos of Dueling Network, and I'm like, do I have nostalgia for this, or do I just like how it looked a little bit better?
What's different about it? I can't tell the difference.
I couldn't even tell you off the bat. If I pulled it up, you would notice it immediately, though.
There's a way you can like log into Dueling Book with like the Dueling Network layout.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
cool.
You can get the old layout. Like the deck editor is like red, blue, yellow instead of like purple and whatever.
And I generally like purple as a color more than those too.
The field is like all gray. It's like a grid kind of.
I wish they wouldn't put the pendulum things even when you play even when you do classic mode. It still shows the pendulums, right?
They didn't have any of that shit in the original.
Yeah.
Classic isn't even like it's like distorted. It's a weird field. It's because pendulums, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that's why.
Easy. That's not classic to me.
No. We had a big tournament for a local one where I wanted the original play. Like I already had the one with all of our names on it for like all the Rampage people signed it, but one of the locals here hosted a tournament and the prize was a clean original top 8 mat.
I have a couple of those that are really dirty because I use them all the time.
Yeah, I have like a beat to shit one, and then I have the real nice looking one now.
Just seen some news that Corona beer has stopped production.
Really, that bad?
Holy shit, that's sad.
It's so stupid.
Suspended.
It's because, you know, my theory on it is
People don't want bad luck.
like people don't want to like think about coronavirus and they want to like just hang out and drink
They already tried to change the name
Like,
of
kinda
it too,
forget
didn't
about
they?
Yeah, that's.
something.
I think they already tried to change the name of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must have been like the president of Stella or something that came up with.
That's what I'd usually drink for beer in the summer too, is Corona.
Yeah, same. I've got one with me right now. I might save it in case it has value later. I'm not going to do that. I will drink it tomorrow, probably.
I'll tell you, Corona I thought was the grossest beer till I had it with lime.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
It does. I do not like it by itself.
It's a better combination.
But then with lime, it's like my favorite. So
Oh man, a lot of my drops didn't go through. Fuck.
Oh,
And on top of it, I guess.
Ojamo Trio, Chaining Ring. Why?
I think he wants to resolve his spy.
Oh no, Chaining Ring makes sense if he's. No, you should wait till he chains the Just Desserts. Oh, he flipped the spy and he's chaining Ojama Trio to that. Gotcha. Okay, that's a good play.
Don't know if I would do that though, personally.
Jazz, do you think we could convince Dueling Book to put erratas, GOAT format erratas, if we really ask enough?
Or a ranked mode.
I don't know.
Ranked mode, I understand them not putting because that takes like server commitment to it.
They
I
have to
think.
get judges and such.
Yeah, which at this point I think we could handle judging it, but
You would have to like judge it all the time, like
but we always have people on.
24/7.
We always have people on Discord between our different channels, though.
But you have to be a judge though on Dueling Book. You have to be logged into Dueling Book. You know, have like the judge role, so you can go into people's games and like award losses and stuff.
No, yeah, you're right. It's not like they can just be like, "Oh, I'll get on Discord and get a judge."
You also have to program it in, which is probably
But-
just a pain for them.
But the erratas can't be that hard to do, right? Like they already have. You can't use this
Oh.
card because it's not in GOAT format as a thing, as a command or a script
Oh,
or whatever.
the errata should be much more doable than ranked.
Like I hate that we're streaming and I show this Ring of Destruction here, and someone reading it that's not like fully versed on GOAT format would be like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Yeah.
I kind of realized that I should be buying cards that are like pre-errata.
Oh, did
for
you
the
buy?
decks I want to make.
Did you buy some ones that aren't?
I bought like 20 Ring of Destructions that are post errata.
20. What did you need 20 for?
Yeah.
It's got 20 decks to build.
It's in like every deck. No, so I probably bought 16 or 15.
I bought like 30 Armageddon Knights when I was building for Nova format because they were literally like 5 cents each. And I just bought that many to get it up to $1, and they were super rares too. I was like, okay, I guess I only wanted like 3, but for $1 I'll buy all of them.
You know, a Wrath Ring is like the stupidest thing that they.
It's the worst thing that ever happened because it like ruins the legacy of these cards too.
Yeah, I think
Nobody even plays these cards. I think they literally just kind of want to make the ban list smaller.
No, you know what it is? When the ban list was first
What?
introduced, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! They announced it on the website that every card that's ever banned will eventually be unbanned.
Yeah,
So in order to do that, they errated them.
but that's stupid.
That was the only way they could convince him to be okay with banning cards.
Yeah, nah, it's.
He probably doesn't even give
I
a shit about
I mean-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore either. What's his name?
Does
Doesn't show it on here.
Kakuzaki or something?
Yeah.
It's Kazuki Takahashi.
You know he doesn't give a shit about Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore if you saw the way the anime is now.
I mean, like,
Does he still have like say over
I'm
the
sure
direction
he,
they take?
I'm sure he has some say. Maybe not anymore. At that point he did though.
It's like it's really kind of a matter of legality, though, right? Like, who owns it? Who can decide?
Mostly Konami, but then it seems like Konami of America can make their own decisions too sometimes.
See, the thing is that for that guy whose name escapes me, he was originally a manga artist, really, and like that's like the characters I would say are probably more important to him than the rulings of the game.
Oh, sure, he doesn't give a shit about the rulings, but he might care about. At one point, he cared about people bought these cards; they shouldn't be banned forever. Is my guess.
I actually think the erratering of old cards was a maneuver to stop people playing legacy formats as well. Actually,
I really doubt that.
they really hate.
That's
legacy.
like
It's so niche.
that's 3D chess, and they're not playing 3D chess.
No, Konami just playing money, and they said, "Oh, if we errata them, we can reprint them, and people will care about buying them again."
Yeah, but
We can
like,
sell them
I
again.
reckon it's still maybe it is a bit 3D chessy, but like at the same time, they want people to buy the newer stuff as well. You know,
So they could just not unban it and just keep printing the new stuff.
He was saying to like impact legacy formats. It doesn't even really like have an. It doesn't prevent anyone from playing Go format.
I'm not saying it was effective measure.
I don't think it had anything to do with people playing legacy formats, to be honest. People don't even play legacy formats. A few people play GOAT format.
I would guess that over 10,000 people play Go format.
10,000? I don't think so. I would say like 3 maybe at the absolute most.
Not like active, but like
What have played in that?
I don't even mean online. I just mean like throughout the world. I bet that's how many people are actually playing it.
Yeah, I'd say 3,000 is about right. Maybe.
that's low ball.
I don't think so. I think it's high.
Yeah, I think it's high too. How many people play Yu-Gi-Oh?
I guess it depends how many of these Dueling Book accounts are alt accounts versus unique users.
Well, how many accounts are there? Is the number out there?
I don't think that's public.
Yeah, I don't think it's public.
But if you like go on their forum, I don't know if anyone who makes an account
I get-
automatically has a forum account.
I will say 2,000 is probably low because I have, or 3,000 is probably low because I have like 2,000 Discord members.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're not all multis.
No, probably like 300 of them are multis at the absolute most.
Okay, I didn't realize that you had 2,000 on your Discord.
Maybe I don't have 2,000. Maybe I have like 1,800. Let me see.
But regardless, like 10,000 sounds much more like likely now, if I'm being honest.
I have 1,600 Discord members.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Have you guys ever thought of like collaborating and combining? Yes, you have.
That's funny you mentioned that. We won't get into that.
Okay.
It has
Not-
happened in the past, and
not-
then it was like undone.
Not specifically combined, but we have
But like, was it you two who are quite reasonable people? Like, Scully, are you like basically in charge of GoFormat.com?
I'm 100% in charge now.
Yeah, there we go. And like, he's quite.
It's
It's
that's
just
like up
look-
for debate whether I'm a reasonable person or not.
You've never come across as unreasonable before.
I'm very stubborn.
Yeah, yeah. You're a bit stubborn, but like, well, maybe a conversation for another time then. But you know, maybe we'll like attack on nostalgic duelists first. Get them to come to us.
I don't know how active they are. Are they still active? I haven't checked that group in a while.
They're doing a tournament right now, I think.
Wow.
But they have not been very active. They did like a tournament where you could use Crush Card recently. There's I don't know. They're still doing like. I just can't get on board
In
with
Go
people.
format? Crush
Yeah.
card in Go format?
Yeah, as like a coronavirus meme thing. They did it.
Oh god.
I just can't get on board with the ones like if I get people want to play Goat format for money, but I'm just not about it. Like if you guys want to play cash games, I don't hold anything against you for doing it, but that's just not the direction I want to take things. Mostly because it's illegal and I don't want to get too involved in it and then just have everything fall apart from doing it.
I'm convinced that there's ways to hack Dueling Book.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's built on Flash, which is like
I've seen people hack way more complex games than Dueling Book.
right.
Isn't it a bit vulnerable at the moment as well, with being just on HTML5? Only just.
Probably.
God, that would be a plot twist, wouldn't it? The best players are actually just hackers.
I mean, that's what everyone tries to claim about the person that kept winning all the. Then what's the website that was doing the online tournaments?
What shit? What are they called?
Who cares? We don't got to plug them anyway.
And then someone was like, someone like ran off with like $2,000 in prize money one time.
Yeah, and they still
Did you hear
tried.
about
Yeah, they still tried coming to my Discord to like offer tournaments, and I'm like, I am not doing any sort of support for you guys after that.
Just see that coming.
Yeah, like if you start getting too big of prizes. Very recently, I saw someone, like one of my friends, that got into like a hacking community for a different, it's like a first-person shooter game, but just like the shit that he's able to do in it, I'm like, okay. After seeing that, I'm totally convinced that people could hack Dueling Book if they really wanted to. And I'm sure as you're learning more about coding and stuff, you can see it.
Yeah. I think at a minimum, you should be able to know like all the cards that are set and in the deck in the order. I think it's debatable whether you can edit the order without your opponent knowing. You can definitely see everything that's supposed to be hidden information.
I'll be right back, guys.
Once again, we've not spoken about a game in a long old time.
Use some of the TO.
What's that, sorry?
Said I have an excuse. I'm the tournament organizer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have an excuse. Yeah, Solemn versus the Burn.
Tangents are sometimes more interesting than the gameplay. That's why podcasts exist.
Yeah. Do like a good old tangent.
People do like to just hear conversation about stuff they're interested in.
For a while, I just wasn't in the game.
I mean, it's just been a slow try to burn you with a few cards, use my Gravekeepers game, and Fuefo has spies and has just been walling the shit out of Randage because having spies against Gravekeepers is amazing. He's got two 2500 defense monsters just sitting there.
Yeah, Fuefo's got this.
Ooh, play a book.
Yeah, even if he's like,
He's typing GG with all capitals.
oh, he's got nothing for Burn.
Yeah.
There we go.
Shit.
Mobius next. And
Special
after that,
summon.
wow. His next two cards were Mobius, or did he just search them? Oh, he searched them.
He just searched the deck.
Okay.
Oh, he's demonstrating how unlucky he was.
He said he didn't have enough. It was probably all he literally had.
Like the Gravekeeper's Assailant could get rid of the spies, but you have to get rid of the level limit
Yeah.
first.
So I just hopped into Swisky versus Walk It Out.
Okay.
Should be good. That's who just knocked out Orgo Mad, right?
Walk it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It looks like they're reasonably early on in what I assume is game 2 or 3.
Apparently Geist and Delinquent were roasting each other in German. Are they? Should I jump into that match instead?
Yeah, I'd love to see some German.
This one's going to be slow. They're just still very early in the game, so let's jump.
Okay, we'll switch. Oh look, Geist has the
Yeah.
counters on his skill dark.
Oh my good days.
The memo.
Alright, you got the translations, Ross? Europe's all one language, right?
Who, me?
Search
Yeah.
the shallow grave.
I think I could try.
Is Delinquent playing... Oh, he's playing Jar? Wow. So he's 4-0 with Jar?
He's Ejar, yeah, yeah. Oh
Nice.
wow, he is 4-0 with Empty Jar. MMF will be proud.
I'm gonna message MMF and tell him if Delinquent goes 5-0 with Jar, you gotta get a commentary.
We'll watch his game next regardless, maybe. Or maybe Jars aren't actually that fun to watch.
This looks like game 1, but I'm not super sure.
Jar's fun to watch.
Delinquent's gotta win.
It is fun to watch, actually.
Literally gotta win.
It's FTK, but there are all these like funny interactions.
Mm-hmm. There's it. People say
Interesting
like
to spectate.
when people say Burn's boring, it gets under my skin, and when they say Jar is boring, it gets under my skin. Like unless you're playing a like no interaction deck, then it's gonna be like usually a good game of you having to make decisions as a player.
Right.
Okay.
Library FTK, no.
Yeah, that's a different one. That one's boring.
I suppose.
He got spell reproductions, so this is not over yet.
I think Delinquent's in the driver's seat here. I think he should be able to win.
4 cards in Geist deck. Can he just get back card destruction for game?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got game.
And set everything.
Yeah.
You can play card destruction with no hand, correct?
You can, yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, well done. Just a quick
Nice
peek at
Titsu
that.
end. What does that mean?
Is that the game?
I have defeated you.
Is that game?
German to English translation. Let's see. This is very necessary. It's over now.
I think he's saying, is it necessary that you have a card in hand to play card destruction? Is what he's asking. Is my guess.
Is pick up cards. Pick up the top cards.
Something of the stream made us lose viewers, though. Maybe they don't want to see Jar.
Because I don't have any more because I have no cards in my hand. Right.
See, Rost, I knew you'd be able to translate for us. Stupid Americans.
Well, yeah, I certainly am not just typing this into Google. Mean at this jar. It's so bad.
Google Translate's still garbage, like even in 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
For whatever reason, computers can't figure out like where to move adjectives around to.
But you can't go deck out because that is pickup, not draw. Oh right, I see. I think he's disputing that he should have lost when he cyberjarred.
No, that's pick up, not draw, yeah.
And that,
Fine.
Klar, no problem, I think. It's just I think he's accepting it.
Like how they're mixing some English. I mean, they have to because the card text is English. They're discussing rules.
Delinquents won this game. We should.
It's just
help
PM
them.
to me.
Yeah.
So let's look at this build while it's all at the graveyard.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
Jar, Search, and Tomato. Oops. And it's gone. Look pretty standard.
We'll watch Delinquents game next, yes. Unless there's like a really massive grudge match.
Yeah. Probably.
Actually, I would say no. I mean, like, what are you watching for? He's gonna make top 8, right?
Yeah, you want to see someone on the bubble. Unless MMF wants to hop on and give us some next level Jar.
We can just get MMF on tomorrow for
Are you doing tomorrow for top 8?
probably. One wants to do, but
Yeah.
I'd prefer that.
Yeah, you're right. Delinquent will be top 8. Who else is looking good at the moment? Obviously, Geist is looking good.
Geist might now have to win on the bubble, but he's probably good either way.
No, he'll make it either way. Like if
think?
any X2 makes it, he has to make it.
What about
Whoever lost early is truly on the bubble.
Yeah, that's true. Your
Um,
tiebreakers are worse.
Someone went 0 Jensen went 0-4.
Oh,
Shout out to Jensen for getting as many games in as possible. Well, I guess he gave up. He didn't get as many games in as possible.
Might have been. Yeah, I just forgot to drop him after round 3. I think.
So if you do tomorrow for top 8, then I would 100% say that double elimination is the way to go.
Really?
Yeah, 2-day tournament. Like, sure, we're in Corona, but generally, do you want to spend a second day doing Yu-Gi-Oh?
What are you saying? I am confused. You mean from the start?
If you're gonna
Should've done
do,
double elimination.
yeah, I'm saying it. And just not this tournament in particular, just in general. I'm saying it's a reason to do double elimination instead if you can finish it in one day compared to.
Can't though.
I mean, I finished by 7 o'clock double elimination with
Did you
50
start?
with 51
11?
players. I started at 12.
It's just that I don't think that's the normal outcome. I think you got lucky.
But I had 44 the week before and finished in less than like 6.5 hours.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
And then I had 34 the week before that, and that one took like 8 hours though for some reason.
That's what I'm more used to with the double elimination.
But that's 3 big number tournaments too.
Thing that I don't like about double elimination, like those like WGM games that are going on forever, I just rather call time than like have to wait on that.
But you're not waiting on that though, because everyone else is playing their matches. Like sometimes it'll get stuck in like the losers bracket. You look at it and be like, "This is ridiculous." It's like 4 rounds behind. But
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think that's the standard though. I think if you like have someone monitor it even a little bit to make sure games are going, then that doesn't happen. However, I did run into my guy sitting in winners final wasn't there when I got to finals, so but that's happened with Swiss too. Like Swiss, the issue is if you do day 2, we've definitely had tournaments where people just don't show up for day 2.
yeah.
Like I think it has to be a 1-day tournament generally, no matter what. Like me as a player, I'm not dedicating 2 days for an online tournament.
Is that double elimination? Basically, you lose and you're out.
You have to lose twice.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then that would be single elimination. What I just described.
But the benefit too of double elimination is also that whoever goes undefeated for 6 rounds right now can get all the way to the finals, lose 1 game to someone who already lost another game, and they end up with equal records, but the other person wins the tournament. That to me is bigger than anything else.
That's true.
I think it's just unjust to go undefeated and lose in the finals.
It's so anticlimactic a lot of the times. The grand finals, it's not really that exciting.
Grand finals?
Double elimination, the finals, is usually not that exciting to me.
Grand finals is though, if you get to grand finals, someone resets the bracket.
Is grand finals when you win the first one?
Grand finals is the winner of winners bracket versus the winner of losers bracket, and then the winner, and then
I don't think that's exciting unless the person who lost won.
But it happens a lot.
I don't think it happens much.
I think
like
it does.
80% of the time, the person who is XO just wins anyway.
Oh, I see.
But if they do win anyway, so say they're XO and then the other person wins and you go to that last game, that's super intense.
Maybe.
And then once you win 1 game from the loser side and reset it so now it's equal, like it's your tournament to lose if you get to the finals of winner's side.
What would you
Yeah,
say
but-
to,
Okay, so if it's like if every game is a coin flip, right? It's like 75% of the time the person who was XO in winner's bracket is going to win the tournament. But it's not actually 50-50. Usually you're XO because you're slightly better deck, slightly better side deck, slightly better player. So in my opinion, I think it's more like 80% chance to win.
But what's a bigger deal? Like, if you lose after being undefeated for like a day and a half, compared to having to only beat somebody once in winners finals being less exciting and possibly being super exciting if it does get reset?
It's not any more exciting than finals of a single elimination bracket.
That's true.
What about
Took longer.
with best of 5?
I think it's less fair though.
It's about fun, not fair.
It's less fun to. It makes me not even want to play to get. If I have to play a 2-day tournament with you're only playing for prestige and you end up with the same record as the guy that technically won the tournament.
In the end, like
Yeah, you can comment it then.
I think
I think double elimination has a lot more pluses than Swiss does.
the only thing I would say, like, I mean, it's undeniable that fun and fair go hand in hand, right? Is all I would say on that matter.
No way. Fun goes higher. You could have fun just by sacking people all day.
Well, no, I'm saying that fun. Well, yeah, okay, fine, but like, you can have fun with fair, but you can rarely have fun without fair. Is what I'm trying to get at. I mean, like, if you're on the unfair, on the losing end of.
I think fun is more evenly distributed when it's fair.
There we go. And that's important, though, right?
No, I think fun is not evenly. I think it's the opposite. I think it's fun for the person winning. It's fun for the person coming out of winner's bracket. Pain.
I don't know. It's fun coming out of losers bracket too, and like being like I already lost, and now I like went through all this and getting back. Like it's definitely exciting to be on loser side as well.
As a player, I hate being in losers because it's like, okay, even if I like win this all out, I have to win twice against the same person just to win the same tournament.
However, then once you beat them once, now you're like, now we're equal, and now it's anybody's game. Now none of that other stuff matters anymore. Now it's just winning one match.
I don't know. I find it discouraging. I don't like playing in losers bracket.
It's the way you got to look at it while you're in losers. Like you can't be looking at it like I think that's a thing to look at for all tournaments. You can't be looking at it as the whole. Like this is a thing that LeBounty told me a long time ago, and I did better once I realized this. Is like you can't look at it as this whole tournament that you have to beat. You have to look at it as this next round that I have to win. And when you look at it that way, and then it's just you look at going in on loser side, it doesn't matter. You just have to win this match, and then all of a sudden it's completely equal because you won that match.
That's true. That's the mentality you want to take if you want the best chance to win. But like, in reality, you're an underdog because you have to win twice in a row at the end.
You're an underdog, but so Geist did not just add this counter to Skill Dark Magician.
Oh.
If he does it now, then snipe. So he can't win right now because if he does add it,
yeah, you locked him.
we'll give him another warning. Oh. How many warnings has he got?
It's a counter.
It should be at 3 now.
DM him. It
Uh,
seems really easy to forget.
Like he already has one counter on it. How hard is it to remember?
Oh, here we go. He just had it on the stream.
I watch a lot of Smash.
I DM'd him.
I watch a lot of Smash tournaments, and the person on loser side wins. Like I think in GOAT format too. Like I've never looked at crunched the numbers for it for our tournaments even, but the person on loser side can win plenty of time.
You should crunch the numbers.
I should get someone else to crunch the numbers.
Yeah, get one of your minions to crunch the numbers.
Jazz, can you send MMF the GOAT format list or the delinquents list?
Ended, but yeah, hold on. to you guys too.
I think so. Swiss for the pros versus cons. Pros, I think, is not having to do with time limit, so you don't have to worry about people winning in time, which is just like automatic salt. And then the winner that goes undefeated has to lose twice. I think is two big enough reasons to promote double elimination. And the third reason I would give would be you can go X2 and play like 9 hours of Yu-Gi-Oh! And not even make top 8. And the fourth, I guess,
Is that a bad thing?
That's a bad thing, yeah. I think in general
Okay.
it's a bad thing. If you wanted to just play games, you could just play games all day at this point.
Point of entering a tournament is to play games.
He still did not add the counters on goddamn Skill Dark Magician.
To me, there's a difference between tournament games and just casual games, or even ranked.
Tournament games, when you're already out of the tournament, are nothing different than a random game. It's worse
You're
than
already
a ranked
out.
game.
You just drop. You just drop.
So then you might as well play double elimination.
Uh,
Do you want to give him a game
Yeah,
loss for this shit? He still is not adding the counters on Skill Dark.
really?
He just played reinforcements.
Just gonna remind him. It's not that hard.
At what point is it cheating? I want to say never, but at the same time, how many times do you have to fucking remind him?
The only thing I would say in regards to that is that we have kind of watched a lot of Geist's games, if you know what I mean. Whereas he wouldn't his.
How many games?
transgressions-
Yeah, how many games is he not adding the counters ever when we're not watching?
Probably a lot, but it's just.
I don't think Geist is a cheater, but like at the same time, add the stupid counters.
If we keep reminding him, he's gonna remember.
I did a whole tournament with him already, and he
Me
used
too.
and he used it to advantage to win once, and he's still not putting the counters on it. Like he got around a secret barrel costing him game by attributing the Skill Dark. So you're still on the Swiss side, Jazz? You think Swiss is better?
Oh no. I think they're pretty even. I don't think this.
I don't think they're even.
Okay.
I don't think Swiss is garbage, but I think
Maybe
that-
I just have nostalgia for Swiss.
that's what I think the main thing is. And like I didn't feel this way about Swiss until watching Smash tournaments. And watching Smash tournaments, I got more used to seeing double elimination.
See, I like don't. I think it makes more sense. If I was playing a Smash tournament, I would want it to be double elimination, but I think there's something about Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's just that
It's
we
a
were
little
used to it. I think that's the only reason is because we just played it for so many years of Swiss.
Maybe.
Because when we lay out all the reasons, I think on paper, double elimination makes more sense. I think maybe when you get to like 64 entrants and you can cut to like a pure like top 8 out of that, where like only the X1s are making it to top 8, maybe it makes more sense.
See, I like it when all the X1s make it. I hate it when there's a couple times where X1 does not make it.
And it's awful,
That's
right?
worse. That is awful. I think at like some of the nationals, like
Oh.
2005 nationals, people where X1 didn't make top 8.
For sure, that was a common thing until you get to like I think you have to get over like 300 entrants for like every X1 to like always make it.
How was Goat played back in 2005, or how was Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments played in general?
Swiss top 8 only.
And then
No matter how big the tournament was, it was top 8.
well then there is one way you could settle this. You could put it to the community and see which they prefer.
I don't agree with that because we're the ones that have to run the tournaments, and it makes a difference of our days as we spend the entire time running the tournament.
Oh, sorry, I didn't give you guys permission.
For what?
The doc I sent.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Wind.
Yeah. I think he's
He beat Randage, so he can't have that
Yeah, he just-
that bad of a record.
he beat Chicago, I think.
He's not bad. Chicago's pretty good. Chicago got to I think he got 5th or 6th at the last tournament. Delinquent's going off right now. MMF, where you at? I see you watching this game. Go get the microphone.
Be right back.
I reckon he'll win this turn.
He should, right? And shouldn't these monsters be in the graveyard?
What do you mean? Oh yeah.
Delinquent should definitely have game right now.
Yeah, I think he does. 3 Book of Taryu.
I'll tell you, Jar has not won shit in a while.
No, it's definitely fallen out of favor. I'm kind of glad about it as well. I mean, I know you say it's like an interactive deck, but
Games like this aren't, but I would say overall it usually is.
yeah, I don't particularly.
I'd rather play against Burn than Jar, I'll tell you that.
You'd rather play against Ben, or
Yeah, I'd rather play Burn. I think I can beat without having to have anything crazy. Jar, sometimes it's like if you don't have the exact card, you could just lose to it.
absolutely. But yeah,
Like Geist even had a Solemn and still didn't make a difference. Wait, did he not ever get to use it? Did that Solemn get discarded? Okay, yeah. Geist knows where that was going.
wait, but
Geist scooped.
yeah, that's it. Cool. No, I thought they might have been 1-0. Awesome. Who's left?
The Nano versus Alpha.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm starting to see why you and Format Library can't have troubles collaborating.
Why is that? Because the conversation before? That's because we
Yes.
were collaborating, and then well, it was kind of like Dan said, it was some stubbornness did not let it continue.
Was it actually over Swiss versus Double Limb? Just out of interest.
No, it was over. I think I told you the other day, didn't I? The Parovic, someone stealing his account thing.
Yes, you did.
That's all that it was. Oh, the Nano won that.
Yeah, that's very swift.
Swift on our end, since we only saw half a turn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
That's almost everybody. Loop or Swisky might still be playing.
Go for Brusette.
Is he still in tournament? Okay.
Yeah. I played against him earlier.
He tried to use. I think he tried to use Jar last tournament after he won Goat Format Championship 3, and then I think he tried to use Jar and Goat and GFC 4.
Mm. He's definitely using Go Control this time.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the mirror.
He's in a good spot too.
Yes, he is.
I'm pretty sure Delinquent has played E-Jar every single GFC.
No, I don't think so.
You want me to go back and look? Because I'm pretty sure.
You could look. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. Let me know. If he has, then he's done good in other tournaments with different decks, at least. But I don't think he used it in every one. He's definitely used it before.
Randage's mic either is always really quiet for me, or it blasts my ears out.
I think he only has a phone.
Alright. That explains it.
So Solemn the BLS.
Probably the right move, to be honest.
Oh, for sure. It's like, what's the follow-up? The meta? That's pretty good. So Bong is on... Do we have someone named Bong Slong and someone with a different weed name?
Yes. There's a Smoke Blunts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what did he meta? Suki? Yeah, good meta. MST because I lost? Was Loop done, or was this the last match we're waiting on? Or Swisky, I mean? Not Loop.
Suski's still playing. Yeah, let's go to Suski. Is it Suski?
I just say Swisky because I've been saying it for over a year. I don't care what it actually is.
Shusky.
I also say Swisky.
What's it? I don't see the game. What's his name under?
Whiskey. Maybe they just finished.
Probably.
I don't see it.
Is Loop versus... Is Loop's game still going on? Yeah, Loop versus Sunny's still going though.
Sunny still going?
Yeah, Loop versus Sunny. American Son instead of American Dad. Ross, could you send Jazz the link of the stuff we were working on over the week?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the second person I've seen just running DD Assailant in like a... I don't know if Loop's just playing a Go Control deck, but I've seen people trying to just cram DD Assailant back into this deck for some reason, and I don't understand why. Like, does DD Assailant ever resolve its effect?
No.
Like, against... Like, when your opponent rams a Sewer Priest into it, it's like the only time, right? Or if someone puts a BLS in attack mode or a Chaos Sorcerer in attack mode when they should have put it in defense.
That's like the one scenario.
Even ramming it into like an Abyss Soldier is not good either. Because if they summon the Abyss, they might have used the effect already before they attacked into the DD Assailant. Probably because they chose not to bounce the Assailant. So if you're ramming it, it's like, okay, now I'm ramming it and hoping I don't hit into back row battle traps. Spy's still probably an underutilized card, I think.
Yeah, I really like Spy. It's a great card. Very underrated. What time is... When is time?
11 minutes.
Cool.
So do you think you're gonna call for day 2 then, Jazz? It's round 6 would be over at about
Probably. I mean,
7.
if anybody has like a huge conflict and they really can't play, I would not want to. I'd maybe want to do it all in one day, but if everyone's okay with doing it tomorrow, that's my preference.
So it'll probably be, if we did it all today, till like midnight.
Not for me.
Take till like 4 a.m. for you. Well,
I'm like really surprised by how fast your tournaments have been.
Yeah, yours are quite quick.
When was Go Format 1, Scully?
when? I don't know. It should be on goformat.com if you go to tournament coverage. I'm pretty sure I categorized everything correctly.
I'm already up in August, and Delinquents only played in 2 of them, and both times were EJAR.
Okay, if you only played in 2 of them, then maybe you did only play EJAR.
He
I
also
don't-
played in Sleeper 1, though, and he was playing like Chaos or something, but
Yeah, it doesn't really count. I mean, I guess you're right. 2 out of 2. Doesn't sound crazy. I was thinking if he played in like all 4 of them, I was like, there's no way I saw him play EJAR 4 times, just because I know that not many EJAR was played in our tournaments in the first place.
yeah, it only looks like he's played in 2, and both times were with Jar.
It's Whiskey 1. I just forgot to update the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, we caught the last second of that game.
You did?
Literally, like we hopped in and it was like admit defeat.
You know if the Nano is still playing?
They finished, right?
I think that was the one that finished.
I don't know who won though. Who against AJTBLS against Silver on my computer, Chaz? It doesn't show a 1 for AJTBLS. It just shows that he won, but there's no 1 there. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Same with McDog for me.
Yeah, same on mine too.
Yeah, hold on.
And for the round before, McDog doesn't have the 1 either, and Sonny doesn't have it against JP. I don't know if that's supposed to be for a drop. Is that why?
Those are usually from drops.
See, that's the other thing where I like double elimination more than Swiss 2. Tiebreakers are freaking lame. Like, tiebreakers in Swiss determine if you're going to make top or not, whereas, like, double elimination, it's on your own merits. It's like, oh, the guy that I beat round 2 dropped out of the tournament, so I got less points. I think if you're going to do 2 days of tournaments, you might as well make day 2 double elimination. Like next round, the other thing that happens is like players can like conspire as well. Like there's no reason for Delinquent next round if he knows his opponent to like just beat him. He could just scoop and it doesn't make a difference. That
Is
happens.
that likely though?
That
'Cause
happen. That happens in real life all the time.
I'm not very. I don't really know the ins and outs of the Swiss bracket and how it works.
Yeah, so if you're undefeated going into the last round, you're automatically top 8.
Yeah. No,
So- so you can-
understand that.
You can scoop just to even show less cards in your deck to your opponent because you might play them you might play them in top 8.
Yeah.
And if you lose one round in top 8, it's no different than losing the final round.
Hmm. Very sneaky. You know, I wonder how much of this, how much strategy is actually off the board, if you know what I mean.
In real life tournaments, everything I'm saying is stuff that I've experienced.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not just randomly thinking it up. I've seen it all happen.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm sure. He's gonna know him in his own BLS. It's gotta hurt.
If you gotta do it, you gotta do it. But he's only used Mystical, but that's a... What was he swinging with? 4, 5, 60, 600? Exact the amount of life points he had.
Hmm.
Sunny, I don't know of at all. We've never played in our tournaments before.
It's in ours. In FLC one, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Corona could bring back players from way long ago we've seen.
So we'll be grateful for.
No Mirror Force or Torrential yet. Know what's crazy about Torrential and the Goat deck that you're using too, Jazz? If you just put it back in the main deck and people think you're not using it.
Oh, I know.
Like, just spreading word that you're not playing Torrential anymore is as good as freaking playing it.
Wait, what? Are you not using Torrential in your main decks anymore?
Goat? No.
A lot of people have been cutting it from a lot of different decks now.
Is it like the same with Mirror Force to just force people to play?
Around it, even if you don't have it, yeah.
Yeah, to play like.
That's not why I cut it, but
It's an added bonus. I mean, I often think about that. If I like just cut Heavy and Mirror Force and Torrential, like all the cards that people play around, and then they just end up playing like a dickhead the entire time.
Heavy's a weird one. Unless you're playing Trunade, you can't really cut it for that reason.
Mm.
Because it's like, okay, they set 1 instead of 2. Doesn't make that big of a difference. Most of the time. Yeah, that's game.
Just one.
Loops won a FLC, right? No, what do you think? No, what it is? He won
think
one.
so.
He won the qualifier for the Darkhan Dragon. That's what it is.
yeah, that's it.
Alright, well then.
So we're into
The
round.
Nano still playing? I can't find them.
I
But he's
thought
not
the
answering.
Nano-
I'm pretty sure they finished. Message the other person.
Wasn't the Nano's game the one that we
We 100% watched it, but I drank too much wine to tell you who won.
yeah.
So why? Yeah, I don't know how I just missed it.
They
Okay.
did. They did report it.
Nano won. Yeah, they did report it.
Cool.
Here's the next round up. Alright, so who's on the bubble here?
When you say bubble, does that mean someone who's in danger of not making top 8?
Yeah, so anyone who's 3-2, really anyone who's 4-1 is also on the bubble.
I think the 4-1 games are the interesting ones. Let's see
I mean,
how the standings look.
let's look at the
Okay, so we've got
look at the tiebreakers as well. We gotta watch Iraq's game. Who's he playing?
Zazzle.
Did he get paired up? No, he got paired way down. Never mind. He's
I
not
think we're
gonna
gonna
make
have
it.
like 2x or 4x1s, maybe up to 6.
So Geist only lost last round and then got dropped down to 5th place already. So all of his opponents must have just dropped out.
Oh, very, very close. So the second tiebreaker is the number of wins you have against people you are currently tied with. It's like how many other good players have you beat so far?
Right, so the Geist opponents must have just dropped out every round after he played them.
Not necessarily. They could have just gone like 2 and, like
Lost
3 and
them.
2, 2 and 3. Just not done very well. Not necessarily dropped.
Yeah. Usually when you see that, it's dropped though.
Actually, that tiebreaker has nothing to do.
Yeah, it does. He has a 1, Reclaire has a 2, and Nano has a 2, and they both lost rounds after him, and he's ranked lower than them.
I think what that means is that Nano has beaten 2 players who are
Better records than
X
Geist
and 1.
beat. Yeah.
Equal records, and
See, that's the thing.
the people that you beat personally probably aren't going to.
Who you lose to is a bigger deal.
Who you lose to is a bigger deal in the sense that if you lose to them, they have a good tiebreaker because you're doing well.
The guy just lost last round was his first loss to the guy that's undefeated. Right? So he only lost to the undefeated person, and he's ranked 5th. He has 3 people ahead of him, even though he's only lost to the undefeated person. So the people he beat did worse after he beat them, and he get punished for it.
Geist is
The other way to look at it is he didn't beat anyone that good yet.
But that's not his. That has nothing to do with him. Who how bad his opponents are.
It's a little.
Not really.
It's basically like strength of schedule.
Like, you can't choose who you're playing against. Who you lose to, that's on you. So he only lost to the person that's the best so far. And then the people that he beat just because he was better than, no matter how much they sucked, put him 3 spots lower than the person who no one has beaten that he lost to.
I mean, regardless, all he has to do is win this last round, right? And he's in.
Sure, but someone else could be in the same position who didn't lose to the best person. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying that's another reason where I'm like,
Well, I think what
over the years, the more I learn about Swiss, the more it puts me against it.
Well, I think what might happen is that his tiebreaker could improve if he goes down to 3-2, because then that tiebreaker number 2 compares all the people you are currently tied with. So if he beat other people who are 3 and 2, which he probably did, beat at least like 2 or 3 of them,
But what sucks
then
is
he
that's all.
will have like one of the highest tiebreakers of the X2s.
That's all stuff out of your control compared to just winning your games.
Are we going to watch one of the games?
Yeah.
Which one should we watch? So Geist, I guess, would be a good one to watch then.
Guys, Geist Delinquent Empty Jar versus.
Geist versus Loop, that should be a good game.
Let's watch that.
Wait, what? Oh. Sorry, I was looking at last round. Yeah, fine.
Okay. What is the command on Windows to get out of like 100% full screen?
F11?
Yes, thank you.
Would you start top 8 today, Jazz?
I what? Start
Would
it?
you start- Yeah.
I want to see what the players say, but my preference is tomorrow.
Cool. What kind of time are you thinking?
Probably around the same time, like noon. So that's like,
5 o'clock for me.
are you on daylight savings?
Uh,
Whatever. It's the same time it was today.
Yeah, like
So,
5,
yeah.
5 p.m. I'm gonna be up all night anyway, I think.
And I tried to go to sleep early last night, and I was still up till like 2 a.m. after like 3 days of. It was only my first full week of working from home, and already my ability to go to sleep is destroyed.
I moved in with temporarily with my parents. I have a brother who's in college. I have a sister who's like in high school,
Yes.
and their sleep schedules are so fucked up right now.
Your escape from New York plan.
Was my
even know,
plan.
I didn't even know you had a sister. Well, if she's in high school now, that makes sense of me not knowing she existed.
The junior in high school.
So yeah, so she was probably born after we stopped regularly hanging out.
No, she's
No?
just she's
Very
just
young.
little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Geist plays, or at least the last tournament of mine, he played 3. He probably is still playing 3 Grandmaster Sasuke or Sasuke, and it just seemed like it never came up last tournament. Like he never drew the card. Maybe he sides him out.
I saw him like kill a bunch of spies with it. People are
Yeah.
playing spy now.
I'm saying last tournament, I never saw it come up.
Oh yeah, but this tournament it's come up a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sided in multiple, I think.
He mains 3. I would think you side it. It's probably an easy card when you're playing 3 of it to side a copy or 2 out. It is an ugly card. I've always hated how it looks. It looks like a stupid mummy.
Yeah,
I actually really like how it looks.
missed potential on that one.
Well, you like ghost rares, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that I do, yes. But like, I actually kind of like all the designs
Of every card.
The only design I really hate in a Yu-Gi-Oh card, like that is not like very new, is Kyber Man, because I think it just interferes with the lore of the whole thing.
By putting a human?
Huh?
By putting a human in it, or what?
Oh, yeah, like I mean, what's that all about?
I've had that thought before as well.
Like, it just don't make sense. And also, like,
Yujo Friendship was the first one that really annoyed me.
oh yeah,
But they have-
yeah, for similar reasons.
They literally put the anime characters into a card. It's like, what?
I mean, but we can't start questioning the logic of the game now. I mean, like, it is
Not
supposed
at
to
that
be
point.
an ancient Egyptian game, but like they had the machine type, like and things like that.
Well, they could have had machines in ancient times that were forgotten. I can accept that.
Can you?
More than Yugi being on a card.
Yeah. Or or a game that you bet your soul on a game where you have 2,000 life points, a direct attack from Berserk Gorilla.
You're not allowed to attack direct in Duelist Kingdom.
Oh, really?
Yep. Which begs the question of why anyone ever put a monster in attack mode, but
If you put everything in defense mode, you can't lose
you just
unless
play
he plays.
you just run,
attack.
yeah, you just run more cards than your opponent and you win every time. Whoever can get the most cards to put in defense mode is the winner.
Put
Wait,
parasite,
couldn't you just go
parasite
one
in
further?
the opponent's deck.
You could go one further and just not play any cards.
No, then you deck out and lose.
No, but I mean, you don't have to play any monsters.
How many
Sure.
life points did they use?
2,000. But you
That's
still
so few.
you still have to run more cards than your opponent because deck out was a thing.
True.
Did they deck out in the anime?
I'm pretty sure it happened once.
Kyber versus Pegasus, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
He crushed
They-
carded.
If they didn't deck out, they at least said you can deck out. Like they explained it.
Actually, I think like Pegasus crush carded Kyber. and
No, was it the other way around? Kaiba crush carded Pegasus.
Nah, it was Pegasus who crush card Kyber,
No,
'Cause he, used his
Kaiba
Mimicat.
Kaiba used it on Sagi the Dark Clown.
Yeah, it's a Kaiba card. I know that, but he used Mimicat to copy it. And
Oh,
then,
so they both used it. Okay.
yeah, and then he just went,
Yeah,
you can't play any more cards, so you
Sha-
lose.
Shadow
Literally
just said
lost.
you're right. Shadow just said Pegasus crushed Kaiba.
Yeah, but like it wasn't even. But like he had Monster Reborn, he was like, I can only play it on Sagi the Dark Clown.
Oh, it would be destroyed by crush cards still.
Yeah, I mean, Crush Cards had some weird rules, but like, it implies his entire deck was full of monsters. But
the new crush card effect is actually closer to the anime,
yeah, I know,
but it's worse.
They should have given it the anime effect.
Every card out of the deck.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's not like it would matter anymore.
It's bad enough it was only a prize card.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, it's probably like people would probably love to face a Crush Card virus.
Well, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, do you know what the new effect is?
Yeah, you choose like your opponent can choose 3 cards to
Yeah,
send to their
that's even better.
Yeah, it is better, but like, like there's the grass is greener or whatever that card's called. If they're playing 60 cards just to resolve that, if your opponent resolves a crush card,
That's-
saying like that would be amazing. Surely that would be like a massive premium for them. Like, oh yeah, all my
No, it would make the grass is cleaner worse because it would mill less cards.
I can't believe Geisty is like regained control.
Or it
of
would
his
mill
duel.
more cards, huh? Oh, we're gonna actually comment on duels?
Yeah, sorry. Like, they're talking absolute nonsense about the anime. Yeah.
I don't even remember what game this is. Is it 3?
This is game 1.
Game 1, okay.
Yeah. Kind of just getting through these goats, and Loop isn't seeing his second meta yet. Off a bunch, now he's picking off more. Here's the skill dark.
Oh yeah, the deck I played, I basically copied from Suski.
So here's a good use of DD Assailant. It can clear the Dawn, and the skill dark has to get banished to use it, so it could actually get a plus for once.
But see, the skill dark just goes to defense.
And that's why I've been playing
True.
Skill Dark really as well.
Because he sucks.
Well, no, because I copied Suski.
Swisky only side skill dark, and
So-
I still think he shouldn't.
I mean, I say I do. I mean, I literally just copied his deck.
It did
Not
you.
a bad side against aggro.
It's okay, but I don't think it's optimal. I'd rather have a Berserkerilla, I think.
Oh no, no way! Because
If you're
can't-
playing Chaos Sorcerers.
yeah, and
Sure, but if I'm already playing Cast Sorcerer, I should have enough darks anyway.
well, neither Siski doesn't play Chaos Sorcerers, but
Okay, so then
He
why?
does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, look at his deck list.
Maybe today he did. He generally doesn't.
this is the deck I'm talking about, Jess. I'll just DM you.
Is it all out of order? Okay, I mean, yeah, I know what that deck is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he sides skill darks in the non-Cast Sorcerer deck too.
See, I see.
But I don't like Berserk Gorilla in Go Control because it dies to Tsukiyomi.
I mean, I don't like skill dark either. I'm just saying I'd rather play something different than... You're not going to side it in against Goat Control, though. You're not siding skill dark in against Goat Control.
No, but what would you?
You're only siding it against this deck that doesn't even play... I guess this one is running with Tsukiyomi, but...
Yeah.
Generally, the decks you're siding against are not playing Tsukiyomi. So you'd rather be able to attack over things instead of... My idea of it, if you're going to play the beaters to deal against the other beaters, and no one's agreed with me on this, so maybe I'm just wrong, is that Zumbira makes more sense against an aggro deck if you're going to side in a high attack monster.
No, I do get the logic on that one because it literally get over everything.
It could get over everything and maybe clash with something else.
Yeah, I like that card. I side it in my warrior deck.
Like, I don't see the purpose of siding in just a beater if it's not going to be Zumbira, unless they're like really playing a bunch of Tsukiyomis for some reason.
Well, wait, there you go. You weren't expecting a unanimous agreement on that one.
No, I mean, I've argued that with people for a while.
No, it makes sense. And also, if you play Tsukiyomi, you can reset it. Not the.
That's kind of interesting. You flip it down, flip it back up. It's 21 again.
The bigger issue that comes up is him not being able to attack directly.
Yeah, that's the issue.
It is an issue, but it's I'd say you can look over it because I know life points matter, but they don't matter that much.
You look over it until you lose a game because he couldn't attack directly.
Yeah, true, but it depends what you think is going to come up more often if you lose to a Berserk Gorilla or you lose because you can't attack directly.
Right, and you're siding it because you want to get over bigger monsters, so you would think it makes more sense.
I think against like aggro, right? I think theoretically you win that matchup by having more cards, not by
For sure.
life points.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're totally right.
Their life is always lower than yours.
But then,
Their life doesn't really matter.
Right.
But then on top of
It's
that,
their position on the field that matters.
They're at 850 or 0.
But the problem with Zombira is, and I've only just thought of this, apart from BLS and like Breaker and DD Warrior Lady, most of your other monsters won't be attacking directly, if you know what I mean. They're all little guys. So maybe attacking directly actually matters more than you think, because you don't have that much to attack directly with.
Well, you're not siding out cards that would have been high attackers anyway to put them in.
No, but I don't know. It's still worth thinking about.
It's not unconsequential for sure, but for that matchup, I think if a Zumbira can attack one monster and trade with another, you just did a huge fucking thing against a warrior deck.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to go off the idea now. After being,
I mean, I don't side any beaters against these warrior decks in the first place, but I think if you're going to, it makes more sense than a side in a skill dark.
well, do you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to start siding one Zombira and two Skill Darks.
You don't even have to do that. You can just keep your skill darks in, and every time think to yourself, what would have happened if this was a Zumbira instead?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
The mental note is just as good as the actual playing it.
True.
As long as you remember to think about it.
Oh wow, this ended. Still
Ice Down Zalug.
Right? Reaper into getting burned by Dawn. He's gonna hit his Sinister Watch. Nope, Sangin, nice.
Hit.
They're both kind of attacky, aren't they? Like again, these are two cards that I don't mind, even though they go for the hand. And Thestalos I don't mind either. It's just like Duo and the other one, Trap Dash Shoot. Can't stand. Oh, here we go. Skilled Dark Magician. Now, what if this was a Zumbira?
Would it make any difference?
Not at the moment. Let's okay, so we would have both lost 21 instead.
That's barely consequential.
Wow. If it comes down to it, and then there's 200 life points between them. Zombira being premature or Call of the Haunted is probably less good as well.
Come.
Well, it makes them, those two cards, less versatile, I would argue.
Sure, you can't premier call them to attack for a game.
To attack for game, yeah.
I would say is worth mentioning.
No more than they are on their own compared to Premium Call, though. Like that's the main reason to consider that, and the defense is the main reason to consider one against the other.
It's putting in work.
Book of Moon's a real card, whether or not your opponent's playing Suki.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat luck on stream said running Jar looks sketchy. He's running Jar because he's playing a bunch of Blade Knights, so he can set his whole hand.
Running jar? Geist?
Yeah.
Morphing jar?
No, Jar Greed.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Jar is a pretty cool card, honestly. You can trick your opponent to playing heavy when it's not even good.
Yeah.
Like your opponent thinks you're way more committed to the field than you are, and they start committing to the field, and then you heavy them.
It's just kind of it's a very neutral card.
Yeah. It's probably one of the most 4D chess cards you could play.
It's just
Yeah,
it's very bad top deck though. Is the only thing.
For sure.
Defense situation was very predictable. Surprised that he didn't just put the Sook back down.
Yeah, like you already know he doesn't have Nobleman. He just used Exiled already. Now you have to reuse your summon to set it again. He does have Pot in the grave, so maybe he's like, oh, if I put the Sook back in my hand, he'll think it's Suki again and just not attack, then I can flip the Magician and Suki
But
it.
I think the correct technical play here is to attack again.
Yeah, right, attack with Don first instead.
And
No.
ooh,
he did trick him.
to me too.
Can't even say trick him because he was probably assuming that a Sangan attack wasn't going to go through and just did best case scenario it does than the Don.
Right.
It's quite an even game at the moment. And Geist is gonna struggle maybe to get past that.
Oh, he's got 3 main decked Grandmaster Sasuke's.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that small little detail.
And he definitely didn't side them out against Gravekeeper Spy.
But that's 2 to 3 turns to get them off the board, just using that effect.
He just set one,
Oh, you're right.
and it's only going to take one turn.
As long as it's a Sewer Priest doesn't go through. He only used Ring so far.
This could be
I think
a-
he's got Saku. Read. Ooh, book.
Yeah, that could have been pretty bad. Although he was always going to have that, wasn't he? Really, something to.
There's Saku.
Board.
God, there was one tournament where me and World Gone Mad were making the reads so perfectly that we just had to stop commentating because we were just like literally predicting every card on the field. Probably just by getting lucky, but it was just like getting uncanny at one point. These decks are kind of hard to predict, though. They're playing some tech cards in these builds.
I have a question. America is like, the Second Amendment nation. Why did we censor the guns on Donzalug?
Because they were put
How
on.
does that make sense?
Because they were put on 12 and under TV, and that's what it was marketed it as.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
4 kids
But did
did the
Donzalug
dub.
appear in the anime?
Yeah.
He did, but I don't know if he did with guns or not. Guns or swords.
Well, I mean, every gun is censored in
In the anime? Yeah,
in the
I'm-
TCG,
I mean, in the
like Secret Barrel,
in,
like everything.
in the anime, they point a gun at people's head, and it's literally they didn't even put anything in the spot. They just put their hand with nothing in it.
The invisible guns.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, the latest Yu-Gi-Oh movie did have guns in it.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten less censored with that kind of stuff as time's gone by.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, doesn't it? Also, that is one of those cases where he really couldn't have censored that gun because it would literally be him poking him in the back if they did censor it.
Well, in the Japanese Shell, I'm pretty sure Bandit Keith, doesn't he like put a gun like to Pegasus's mouth at one point?
Oh yeah, well no, not to his mouth, but he does point it directly at his face. They just zoom in on his Pegasus's face to censor it. The gun. It's very lazily done.
Guy's about to drop BLS here? No, he doesn't have a dark.
It was
This is a pretty meh turn for all the power cards he just played.
yeah.
Couldn't deal with the spies. Okay, so Devin said in the manga, Pegasus makes Keith shoot himself in the mouth.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know how. How does he
I
do
said,
it, Devin?
I said ow.
Oh,
I said
ow. I thought you said how, like, very, like, how? I need to know.
How did he make him do that?
Yeah, how,
Millennium Eye, duh.
the Millennium Eye doesn't control you, though.
No,
Anything.
It's a mind reader. Maybe it's different in the manga. I mean, basically everything's different in the manga. It's fucked up.
Does Keith die?
Oh yeah.
But he's in the series after that, isn't he?
Oh, it's a shadow game. Yeah.
Shadow game penalty? Okay.
Shadow game.
The manga is very different from the anime. Well, now
It's dark.
Geist is literally just switching stuff and passing turns.
His freaking ninjas.
Maybe he sided him out.
Oh
play.
god, that's a bad day at the office if he sided them out.
I don't think he did.
He just didn't draw him yet. He drew one Roto already.
And use it on Exiled?
Probably.
You know, some of the artworks are probably better censored though as well.
Like what?
Well, I prefer the
Monster Reborn is better.
Yeah, Monster Reborn, that's one of them. Barrel Dragon, I would say, is better than its original artwork.
Oh no, I like the original Barrel Dragon.
I think the other ones like Link.
Magic Jammer, I like both of them.
Yeah, Magic Jammer. Yeah, no, I prefer like the Spellbinding Circle of the TCG rather than OCG, but that's also probably because of.
Monster Reborn and Ring of Destruction, I think both look better censored.
Yeah.
Ring of Destruction is much better in TCG.
Yeah, so there we go. Quite a few.
Fire is so cool.
Monster Reborn looks really cool. That's like one of the coolest drawings of a sword I've ever seen.
What even is it though?
I don't know. It's got this cool ass gem on it and like a face almost inside the artwork. It looks really cool.
Look it up.
Okay.
Like a
what's
throw.
It looks like some super
Afro.
awesome king's sword, whereas the OCG Monster Reborn is just like a, what's it called? Like a Ankh or something like that? Ankh?
I don't know
It's
what
like a sword.
The
it a
OCG
sword?
one's just some religious symbol.
Yeah, that's it. A miscellaneous religious symbol.
Gonna pot of greed again? Maybe Rhoda? Flip Torrental. What did he target though?
God, he must be. This place seems slightly desperate.
No, he's got so many cards after this. He's gonna get the Faith and the Sangan off of this.
It's game. That's why he did it.
Yeah. Okay.
Why is it game? Oh, and cast Sorcerer. Okay. 2 lights in the grave, 2 darks in the grave.
Yep.
Game 3. Yeah, Freaky Soap said the Japanese artwork makes more sense because it's an Egyptian Ankh. It makes more sense. That doesn't mean it looks better.
Some of them look well. Most of them look worse though. Like the legendary fisherman has got like a ball on the end of his fishing spear.
Oh, really? I never even noticed that one.
Oh my god, that's probably one of the most annoying senses for me.
The first time I ever realized that even censored cards is when I saw the OCG Gemini Elf with the cleavage at like 11 years old. And because I really wanted Gemini Elf at that point because 1900 was such a big fucking deal. So people... actually had the Japanese ones.
To Google what Monster Reborn is supposed to be.
There's like I feel like
Turkey baster from heaven.
It does look heavenly, doesn't it? It looks like a light monster card, right? Is it the same sword that Air Knight holds?
Vial of potion that resurrects the dead.
Is Monster Reborn the same sword that Air Knight has in its hand?
what sword?
I don't think it's a sword. It's like too short.
not a sword.
You don't think Monster Reborn's a sword?
1 second, let me have a look properly.
I always thought it was a sword.
Wait, Japanese or
The no,
International.
the English one.
oh right, I see. I kind of see what you mean, but no, I've never thought of it as a sword.
Really?
No, not at all.
Looking at Erna Parshath. It's kind of similar, but I don't think it is Ernat's sword.
Let's have a look. Yeah, as well.
It's definitely not Air Knight's sword.
Oh no, absolutely not.
They just both have like the angel wing thing on them.
And I wouldn't say it's a sword. I've always thought that purple bit is like a gem
You're not gonna convince me it's not a sword.
or a sheath at the very. I mean, where do you hold it?
You hold it with two hands.
I mean, wait, is the sword pointing downwards or upwards?
Downwards.
Okay, I mean like I
You
would-
jam it into something to bring it back to life.
I mean, maybe like you could use the throw as the weapon part and then hold it by.
No way.
the
you-
pointing upwards.
You hold it with two hands,
Well,
and then you jam it down into something to bring it back to life.
yeah, because the sword that brings life. To
Yeah.
someone, like,
You
stabbing
hold it with two hands. You jam it down to them as you lower down yourself down to your knees in one swift motion, and it reborns them.
Yeah.
Don't ruin this for me, Ross. That's how it works.
It's like, yeah,
Just say okay.
yeah. The sword that brings people back to life when you stab someone.
Yeah, that's why it's ironic.
Oh, yeah, that's what they were going for. The 4Kids people, they were like, oh yeah, we have to censor this Japanese symbol. Let's
I
go
mean-
for irony.
Someone spent a lot of time designing Monster Reborn, though. That's not just a random drawing. There, it's pretty intricate.
I'm upset that I can't find the answer to this question.
I'm shocked you thought you'd be able to find it.
Mike, what is Monster Reborn supposed to be? The art.
Yeah, because it's an English errata drawing of it. So
Could be anything. But it's probably just to be distinctive. I mean, everyone knows that's Monster Reborn. Even
it's a sword you jam into something to bring back to life.
God, this is the most
With
bizarre
irony.
explanation of a Yu-Gi-Oh! art.
You explained that artwork to me then.
It doesn't have an artwork. It's just, yeah, like what this guy's just said. It's like a talisman. It's just like a jewel talisman. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
a talisman that you
wear around-
jab into something that's dead to bring it
It's
back
just
to
it's
life.
fucking nothing. It's not. It's nothing.
Yes, it's like you say. It's like a gem. It's a precious thing. Like it's not a sword.
It's just totally a sword. Why is it pointy at the bottom and have two handles if it's not a sword?
Two handles. Oh, what? You think the things at the side are the handles? So you
Right.
hold it like a.
You hold it with two hands.
What's that? What's those two pointed stick thing called that you use to detect water underneath?
Oh, diviners.
Oh,
I don't know how you say that.
The stick. You think it's like the thing that like bobs up and down when there's like water or something.
The item finder in Pokemon.
It may as well be the item finder in Pokemon.
So are you gonna tell me now Monster Reincarnation isn't a sword either?
Well, it's about as similar to the item finder as it is to a sword, in my opinion. Let's have a look at Monster Reincarnation.
One
Okay,
thing
so-
I read on this was that Monster Reincarnation is based on the design of Monster Reborn.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
That is a bit of trivia that I'm pretty confident about.
So,
It doesn't look like that looks like even less of a sword.
Yeah.
well, it's less of a card.
Like a sword.
It's less of a card. Of course, it's going to be less of a sword. It's only logic.
It's just like it's like paraphernalia, like drugs or something.
It could look, yeah. It looks like.
You guys are
like,
crazy.
It's like part of like the Black Luster ritual or something, or the Black Illusion ritual. One of the torches that.
Oh, like that monster that holds a sword?
No, I meant Black Illusion.
Aha!
Oh yeah, the monster that holds a sword. Yeah, okay.
7 tools on a solemn. Take that, Geist.
You think Swords of Revealing Light looks like a?
A
Oh my God.
sword?
My game glitch. That's so annoying. I've been watching a still image the whole time.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Well,
I'm missing a good game, aren't I?
Geist, it's pretty even, honestly.
Game is this one?
oh,
So who won the previous game? Oh right, Geist did. It was the chaos, 2 chaos monsters per game, right?
Yes. And
All right.
Geist is going to do it again.
oh man,
Do you know the face down monster?
yeah, I think so. Is it his
He searched off Sangan.
manager, Sasuke?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He creature swapped for it, and then he booked it. BLS, baby.
Damn.
Best card in the format.
Yeah, probably.
We need a straw poll. And it will be what is Monster Reborn? The options can be.
We don't need it, because I don't need you to ruin 15 years of my life of it being a sword.
Oh, who are we gonna watch now?
Is Brucetti versus Sunny a bubble match?
That was actually the first one to end, so we've got all the choices.
Bruce versus Sunny? Is that a bubble?
That was not the first one to end.
Oh, okay, my mistake.
Is Bruce versus Sunny a bubble game?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I'm updating all the games that have been played.
I think it is.
Alright, we'll watch Bruce versus Sunny then.
I think that's the most risky game out of all of them.
Yeah, they're both. Bruce is 4-1, and Sunny is what? Sunny have a different. Oh, his name is just Sunny. Okay, so it's bubble. If Bruce wins, he can make top, but Sunny cannot make top either way.
That sounds right. Everything's laggy today. My challenge is lagging.
I told you that was my issue last weekend. It was literally crashing, and then it had to refresh every time I opened the page.
Is he?
He's summoned that BLS quite early.
He's down in life, so he might have just been like, I need to make a
Potentially.
big play, I guess.
He did make some questionable moves though when I played him.
He's used duo and pot already. I mean, even if you look at Bruce's interview from when he won the tournament, he was like, I never thought I would win, kind of.
He,
I wouldn't say Bruce is bad, but Bruce, like, for winning a GFC, is not as a, he still makes mistakes, for sure, is all I'll say.
See, now that's something I definitely wouldn't have done. Tribute my BLS for Air Knight.
They're about even in cards. No lights in Sunny's grave.
Now he's just down cards, like a lot of cards.
They're not down cards. They're even in cards.
Okay, no, but he was down where he didn't need to be. He sacrificed his BLS to play Air Knight, which got Mirror Force.
Sure. This 17's a bigger deal than the card advantage, honestly.
This is the last match.
He didn't attack, he just summoned and passed. So that means you're summoning, hoping they torrential you so you can summon BLS. Or he did attack. They just took it off without hitting battle phase. Okay.
Delinquent lost one in the end.
So we have, depending on whether Brusette wins or not, we have 4 X1s, maybe 5.
Any that are gonna miss it?
But he's undefeated. No, all the X1s make it, and then
Nice.
either 3 or 4 X2s make top 8.
That's always good.
There's a lot of
It's a lot of X2s.
Yeah, sometimes it's only like one X2 makes it or none.
there's a lot of people who I wasn't expecting to be knocked out that could potentially to be knocked out, like Suzuki, Rickler, and
They're already for sure knocked out, I think.
like
I mean, tiebreakers can change, but I think it's pretty unlikely.
yeah.
Oh, we'll see in a minute.
Yeah, if Brusette loses, Rickler might be above him. That's a guess.
Oh, so nobody went undefeated, huh?
No, Delinquent lost.
Wonder if Delinquent really lost or just threw it
We can ask him.
and maybe get a real answer.
Oh, would you look down on him, or like, you know, would you not like it if he threw?
I think it
I
did
guess
not.
attacked.
Honestly, I think it didn't matter who won or lost that one.
I don't care if he threw it. Officially in tournaments, if you throw a game, you're supposed to be banned.
Oh right. I mean, for me,
I think it had like no effect. I think if the other guy lost, he would probably still make top 8.
like if he threw the game.
I don't know, because last round, Geist was placed in 5th before getting to where he is now. So that those tiebreakers do come into effect.
But like for someone like me, for example, if I was Delinquent, for example, I probably on a different day I'd probably be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna quit because I'm tired and I'm in top 8 anyway.
Right.
What's he looking for in his deck? I've kind of zoned out. A nice Mystic Tomato. Okay.
Nice Shane username, Autistic Prodigy.
Is that Shane again?
Just guessing. Let's see if Serenity's on. Serenity's off. That's Shane.
Okay.
So you could have taken the 14 if you wanted to. There's been no. You already played Ring, but that put you really low. Used one meta so far. Sinister Engrave. which he just forgot.
Oh dear.
Light and Dark for Sunny. BLS already summoned by Bruce.
Really needs the
Call be really. He already used Call, so he still has Primi live.
well, Bruce hasn't used Mirror, and this dude's just attacking into the. Sunny needs to resolve a Magician of Faith and get back Heavy Storm here.
That'd be huge because Bruce probably not playing Solemn.
I'm thinking Bruce is just playing into Heavy because it's in the graveyard right now.
He hasn't played a Nobleman yet, so
No, that's true.
He kind of can. He's got potentially 7 to 8 Speller Traps.
I actually think Bruce is probably in a better position than Sunny right now. The ring being in Sunny's graveyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sunny actually really needs that Faith to resolve. He can't like 1-for-1 trade with all these back rows.
It is an interesting card to play in Goat Control.
What card?
Tomato, Mystic
Yeah.
Tomato.
It is, because it's like you can just summon and start attacking with the damn thing. And it's like if they kill it, they're like, now there's a freaking Sangan on the board. Now he's getting to Sinister. If they Nobleman it, you don't care.
Yeah. I don't really agree with playing like Azura to go with it. I'd rather play like Abyss Soldier because you could go Tomato into Sangan, get Serpent, and then your Abyss Soldiers are really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like Asura and Abyss kind of fight for that same spot.
Mm.
You could also like the other thing I could say though is if you're playing Tomato, that's another Sangan target potentially where you don't have to play Warrior Lady.
Oh, so you don't have to play? Yeah, that's a good point.
And he's also playing Dekochi, so that's another thing you could do. Like Tomato into Dekochi, Tasuki, get extra flip with it is okay. Probably, I'd rather play Merchant in that, or not Merchant. Level
Pick.
1, yeah, in that spot than that, but just to have the way that like Chaos Angel plays it to be able to meta if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you could do is you get it from the Recruiter, soak it down, flip it up, get the effect, then play meta. And that's kind of, paid for itself. You get the meta out of it.
The issue that comes up is like you either have to play multiple Tomatoes or play like a Reaper or something in the deck. Because if you draw Sangan first, Tomato becomes really bad.
Yeah.
Like
you definitely want like a second target at least.
At least a Dekochi or a level 1, I guess.
Right.
But at that point, if that's all that I'm searching for, I don't know if I even want to play Tomatoes.
That resolved.
Can't help
Into 4 back rows with what's in his
2
grave.
books are in the grave, so
okay, yeah.
I guess all that means is he doesn't have ring.
And Torrental.
Maybe he's saving ring to go for game.
No way, he's at 19. He's happy to ring a 0.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It's late.
It's not even 7 p.m.
It's midnight.
I know. Surprisingly, Geist said he wants to play everything today.
Where's Geist? Is he European?
He's in Germany, I believe. He probably sleeps all day. Delinquent said, "We summons a cat." Rest in peace, Roy Sinclair.
Are you just gonna DM all the participants to see what their preference is, Jazz?
Everyone's typing in chat. It looks like everyone prefers tomorrow, so I'm gonna go with tomorrow. Geist D wants to play.
He said he'll do
Today?
either, kinda.
But he's been outvoted.
He said prefer today, but he would tomorrow, I think.
I told him he could play his first opponent if he wants to like get a game in today, so that he has more free time tomorrow.
Hmm.
Like sorting these lists and collecting top 8.
I don't think Bruce is gonna get out of this. I think he's gonna either deck out or just lose.
The deck out is a real problem right here.
And
Preemie is his only hope.
Gotta do like
He can still try. He still has Tribe.
it's gotta be a heavy Prima for game.
He probably has Premature set like a fool already.
he was very far in front. He's just made some questionable plays, I think.
A lot of players, and myself included sometimes, you get into this card state and you just don't know what to do. There's too many cards. Like, I mean, right now I could look at the win condition and see what I need, but a lot of players, when there's this many cards on the board, they just get overwhelmed.
You really need to do is
Figure out how
like,
you
figure
win.
out what you're gonna do. Yeah, but you got to do it a little earlier than 7 cards left in deck.
For
Like,
sure.
I think when you get below 20, you start thinking about it.
I think 12 is when I usually like start getting worried.
Me 20 because I see that 1 as the first number in my deck count.
You know,
Something
I wonder what the like.
psychological.
I wonder what. Yeah, I think both of those are just like preference numbers, but I wonder what like the real number when you have to start worrying about it statistically is.
for me, it's like single digits, like 5. I don't even think about it.
Oh man, I'm definitely before 5. I'm definitely thinking about it.
I mean, well, like
I think from experience, if you start thinking about it, then it's too late.
Yeah, for sure. I think between 12 and 20 is you can argue one of those numbers matters more than the other. 20, like, you can play a long game with 20 cards left still. It depends what cards you've already seen or not, too, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty big.
If Magician was already banished, it's a whole different ballpark.
It's very true.
If Magician and Heavy are gone, or like Ring is the biggest one, I think. Ring, Tribe, and
Less.
Ring, Tribe, BLS, Magician are probably the 4 cards. Like, if those are all burnt and you don't play Premium Call, then deck out is a real thing. Against an unexperienced player, you can deck them out just because they activated a Scapegoat, but at this level, it shouldn't happen too much.
who do you think's gonna
Oh,
win?
not too much.
I think it's anyone's game again. All of a sudden,
I'd put it on Sunny's side right now.
because he's got BLS in the wings.
He's got BLS left. He burnt Heavy already. Magicians are gone.
Just
But-
gotta survive.
Right, like
Potential
he's got
OTK.
he's got life points and deck out advantage right now. Like if he gets this tribe off the board, Call's already gone. You can answer a preemie with he hasn't played a dust or a mystical. He's got to deal with this tribe.
Bruce has the heavy in deck. He is so like heavy Prima
Yeah,
could really that's really Bruce's win condition.
for sure.
Sonny has to like
First,
up to survive that basically.
Sonny has to deal with this tribe and then have an answer for premature. So this should be game if Bruce is going to play this heavy in this situation.
Yeah, you'd hope.
Call, that should not... Call is awful to see here. That means he doesn't have GOAT.
hmm I mean, the goat doesn't really matter here because
Yeah,
Tribe
tribe's already
on
on the
the field.
board. He's not even resolving it, yeah.
no goat.
He's not even going to grab the Sangin? Oh, he is, okay. He just heavy to ring, a snatch. Yeah, he's got to have game.
Step Prima.
Bruce has premature for sure. If he doesn't have premature, he's a fucking ballsy dude. That means he has nobleman if he doesn't have it. He hasn't played a nobleman yet.
Oh,
He's setting a monster?
whoa.
What the hell is he doing? BLS banish the or preemie ban
He has Book of Moon.
book? He's got to have something.
What the fuck?
Oh, he's tribing it. Okay. Yeah, that
Oh,
makes
sweet.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. How did I not see that?
Right, I didn't see it either.
Yeah, well done. Like that's some next level.
No, that's just us being down a level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Pretty obvious play, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't.
That was the
So
last.
we got
That
it.
was the last game, right? So that was round 6.
Yeah.
So we're all set for today.
Let me hit submit here.
There might be Geist, one of Geist's games. If,
They're all done. So
But yeah, Bruce made top 8 with that. He went X1. Cool. So we got TDL Negro. Interesting
TD,
username. Sparky
yeah.
and Alpha Y.
don't
Two.
say that name on my stream again.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, you get me banned.
Really?
It's stupid, but yeah. TDL, Sparky
Okay.
Flary, Althea, Brucetti, the Nano, Flayfo, Geist, and Delinquent going 5-1 with the Jar.
oh, Rickard didn't make it.
No, he hit 9th with X2.
That surprises me. Like I said.
Surprises you, but it's the same record as 3 people that went X2.
Oh yeah.
Swisky also going X2, like the best he's done in a tournament in a while and still not making it. I'm surprised AJT BLS went 4-2. Good shit on his end. So what time tomorrow, Jazz, are you going to be doing?
Time noon.
12 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, I think that's maybe the least confusion.
All right.
Well, nice one, guys. See you tomorrow.
See
Yeah,
you guys
see you
tomorrow. Later.
I don't know if Geist is gonna play his opponent yet, but
You want me to wait? I'm in no hurry.
if you want to stream it, you can. Have to go eat dinner.
All right, we'll just not worry about any more today then. I'm going to go get my dog back.
Cool.
Later, guys.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Later.